Change podcast gang. The intellectual Mr. Sapiosexual. That's all you gotta do, be you. Montana Cobain pulling up in the truck. And Lady Alba with the glamorous power touch. We stream live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Soulful Sunday, Motion Monday, and Therapeutic Thursday. And some days in between, switch it. Subscribe and bell on so you don't miss it. But if you do, we on repeat on every major podcast application. Interviews galore and more. Y'all know the situation. So book your seat when we turn up the heat with your art for change.
Yes, y'all. And we are live. What's going on, art enthusiasts and change makers? Hey, man, it's another episode of Art Change Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Sapiosexual, and my co-host in the building.
You already know it's your boy BU, because that's all you got to do is be you. Let's get it.
Let's get it. And the queen of the house, Lady Alba, how are you?
I'm good. Better yet, most of all, how you guys? Happy Father's Day.
Yes. Today is Father's Day. Thank you.
Yeah, I saved it. There you go. I saved it just for the live.
I appreciate it.
To tell y'all personally, and happy Father's Day to you fathers out there too. And Lady Alva is good.
Absolutely. Yes. I love to hear it. Before we jump into our show, man, you know how we do. It's been a while since we've been on the pod. So how are you two doing?
I'm good. I just had like 2 weeks off. I ended my last job at the halfway house. So we closed that job out. It was good. I went home for 2 weeks, spent time with grandma and the kids and everybody in the family. And then now I'm back, and then we're building a fire station, actually. So a big one. It's huge. So.
Hey, my boy said out here building fire stations, halfway houses. Yeah, he's moving on up.
Yeah. Back
Look,
to
how the fuck we matching or what?
Look like it.
Damn.
Lord.
We're trying to be like me, huh? I'll tell you.
But yeah.
That's good, man. How grandma doing, man? How many kids?
What you doing? Oh, God.
I'm sorry, Lady Alba.
I thought you were doing the playground when we were talking over.
The fire station is next to a park. It's next to a playground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Respect. Lady Alba, how have you been, sweetie?
Working. You know, network working.
Yes.
So that's it. Learning a lot at the same time, having struggles and how does this go? I don't see this. I don't see that. Oh my gosh! But sticking with it, pressing through. You know, and other than that, all is good.
I love it. On our podcast on social injustice, and we bring things to your awareness. We have different opinions on the subject, so we figured that we turn it into an episode. Tonight we are going to be discussing the Carmelo Anthony case and the Rick Child case, or the Cyrus Belton case, however you want to put it. But in two of these cases, for people who do not know, maybe on Iraq, or maybe not, you don't watch the news, but Carmelo Anthony is a 19-year-old kid who just got convicted of first-degree murder from an altercation that happened at a school 2 years ago when he was 17 years old at the time. And the second case is Rick Chow is the owner of a convenience store, grocery store, and he just got acquitted for killing Cyrus Belton, which was a 14-year-old kid who they chased him out of the store for allegedly stealing a bottle of water. He was chased down, allegedly had a weapon, and supposedly from being shot in the back, he was supposedly facing the son with the weapon, and that's why the father shot him in the back. So these are the two cases that we will go over. One of those guys got a first-degree murder case, and the other guy got acquitted. No charges at all. So we're going to go through and have our topic of discussion on these matters. We'll play a little clip. Matter of fact, we'll do that now. I'll play a little clip from the internet has just released the clip from the school stabbing. You really can't see much in the clip, but we'll play it and then we'll discuss it if we will. Let me pull this up for y'all. Forgive me, Microsoft. Get me a.
Hold on. I'm protecting myself. If somebody is treating the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial tent.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443. I got the suspect, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? Oh, look here.
This is after the shooting. This is the police body cam after they apprehended Carmelo Anthony.
Y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Come over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay? Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspect detained in handcuffs.
You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there. This is the alleged suspect. All right, okay. We'll figure that out. So nothing on your person at all? No, nothing? No, sir. Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing gonna stab me? No, sir. Okay.
I'm gonna be out with this.
I'm gonna be a little personal there, okay? Just to make sure.
My purse right there.
Okay. Go. All right. The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics.
I think he was analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now? Victim is going to be on the north end. They got staff standing to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. Already? No. We searched them. Got nothing.
I don't know what happened.
443. Checkers and leave that CPR process for a little bit. Crazy. That's the wrong thing.
Nice side over here. Up to you. It's up to you.
That's fine. This is closer.
Okay. Let me do one more little check of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't mind for reaching your pockets, anything like that? You good?
We are just wearing one pair of pants?
You just need one pair of pants.
Little under.
Like,
No, ma'am, I don't think so.
What's your name, man?
Carmelo Anthony, Karmele.
430, show me out.
Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay?
Yes,
All right.
402, I'm on scene.
So your first name is Carmelo?
Yes, sir. Karmele.
Let's see. Hold on one second. Is he gonna be okay? I don't know yet, man. Carmelo, C-A-R-A.
Is he going to be okay? Now, I heard him ask that.
M-E-L-O. Carmelo. What's your last name? A-N-T-H. O-N-Y. Where are you in? I'm in 10th grade. You go to Emerson? Where do you go? Centennial. Okay.
All right. All right. So that is the camp. That is the camp. Or when this situation has alleged happened. Well, it's not alleged. It definitely happened. But judging just from that body cam, I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and people who may not know, Fayetteville, North Carolina is a pretty rough area. And it's full of people who have violent criminal records, you know. So I'm used to seeing violence and violent people on the regular. Nothing about that individual, nothing about the Carmelo guy screams to me like a malicious intent, premeditated to get a first-degree murder case. But one of our first questions is, how did the Carmelo Anthony action impact the community sense of safety? From what are you seeing on the internet? What is your opinion on that, Lady Alvin?
Chaos, disgrace, a step backwards continuously of Black folks weaponizing the race, the war of race, as if that's the only defense we have.
What about you, BU?
From what I know is, I see it as protection. And you know, we all gonna see it differently, obviously, but like, if it's me or you, it's gonna be you every time. If like, you know, and it's gonna always be like that. It's gonna stay like that. It's not gonna change.
I respect that. What emotions did you feel hearing about the Anthony sentencing when you heard that he got first-degree murder for altercation that happened less than 17 seconds? What was your feelings on that?
I heard his emotions before the sentence, and you just heard his emotions just now. Is he okay?
No. What was your emotions after hearing him getting sentenced with first-degree murder? How did that make you feel, being a father of a young Black boy?
It hurt. It hurt. Like, you know.
Do you feel the first degree? Do you feel like the first-degree murder charge was justified?
No.
Lady Alvin.
Before I answer that question directly, I'm still staying on the topic of what was my emotions. I want to roll it back to when my emotions got triggered.
Okay.
My emotions were deeply triggered by the fact that a young male, a young human being, and someone's child, which I'm a mother, went into a space knowing that the rules of these designated areas, was asked to leave and stood his ground on make me. And if you touch me, you'll find out. My emotions were deeply bothered by that. And because I feel like as a mother, and the teachings that I give and have given to my children, because they're all grown, is that is not what you do. That is provocating. That's a street term. Make me. We all know what that means. We all know what that can create. So I think that when we're asked to leave someplace, we should leave. Why do you want to stay somewhere anyway where you're not welcome? And then to say to somebody, make me, how can someone make you? Either it's going to be physical, or it's going to be, they got to get an authoritative figure to come in and handle this situation. You understand? So I was deeply bothered by that, because it's an old term, and I'm sure you gentlemen know it coming from the South, that's calling trouble. And we have to stop calling trouble. It also insinuated to me that there had to be something going on within Carmelo and Austin Metcalf prior, maybe, because why are you propositioning yourself that way? What is the point? What is the win in this? What is the win? What do you win? What are you looking to win? Because now even so, and also let me say, Austin shouldn't have put his hands on him, because you can say whatever you want to say out of your mouth, but no one should put their hands on you. But he did. So then you got to be down for the fight. You got to be down for the fight. But do you win the fight? You don't know until you have the fight. You could be brutally harmed, talking to my son. That would Carmelo being my son. Or this other boy could be brutally harmed. You don't know which way it's going to go. So my emotions are deeply bothered by that you made a decision to put yourself in trouble. And I don't know why. Nothing is, you're at a track meet. You're focusing on sports. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Not this. So the sentencing, that's just a bit of my initial emotion. I have to draw that before it goes to the sentence. So the law is the law. Whether whether you like it or not, the law is rigid. The law has its specific definitions of how they calculate the charges, the sentencing of a charge. The law is not equal from one to another. And as a Christian, what is for you is for you. It's a harsh sentence. I wouldn't wish that for no child, no youth, no young person. And am I more passionate about it about my own culture? Absolutely so. I'm heavily passionate about my culture, whence I come from. I'm also greatly passionate about humanity. So it's harsh to think that a young Black boy, it brought emotions to me, tears to me, will spend that amount of time of his life in there. But that's why we have to watch how we skate. We have to teach our children to make proper decisions, not off of your emotions. Let's talk about intelligence. There's nothing we can do about that sentence. It's less than what he could have gotten, because the sentence was minimum 2 years up to 99 years. Also, I'm gonna add this in. I've learned this as I listen to God and His Word. There's always a sacrificial lamb, and sometimes it's the worst tragedy that brings about a change, and we all know that based upon other stories. Carmelo Anthony, which I've heard no one talk about, might be that story, and actually I believe it is, because what's happening now from that, there are organizations rallying together to use this case, are choosing to use this case, break it down, and teach the young people the law. Young people have to know the law of the land they live in, because the law is not logic. The law is what is lawful and what is not lawful. The law is rigid, and either you fit into the definition of what is lawful or you fit into the definitions in the law of what is unlawful. And that's how you're judged. Rolling back to when I say what is for you, that is the spiritual, that is the heavenly authority. We cannot say, any of us that are Christians, we cannot say that, oh, that's wrong and this and that. If you believe in God, if you doing different and saying that, then that's called straddling the fence. That's called you're putting your trust in man to judge you. Man judges you on this land. God judges you in the high places.
What
We
if you're
have
not
to be
Christian?
accountable for our actions, even when they're horrible. But I'm glad that organizations are rallying up to teach the youth, because we are in desperate need of our children, especially the Black culture, to know the laws. Because listen, the cards have always been stacked against us from beginning of racism has always lived. This country is built on it. But that's not our fight that way. And why do you want to fight that way? Why do you want to be what you're not? But that fight is not the winning route. It is giving our children the wrong message. That you can do harm, you can do wrong, and we'll be there to battle it out with you and fight to get you you're accountable for what you are accountable for. And the issue is you don't know what you're going to get. The law is not equal like that. It's very sad.
Okay. Are you finished? Okay, I guess so. You're taking a sip. So
can't hear you, mister.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me, BU?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear y'all.
I think it's just her. All right.
Let me see what's going on here.
So first off, before I give my opinion on how I felt when I heard the verdict, I'm gonna read what first-degree murder is for everybody. First-degree murder is the most severe classification of criminal homicide. It is defined as an unlawful killing that is intentional, willful, and deliberate on committing or committed during execution of specific dangerous felonies. The crime typically carries a penalty of life in prison without parole or the death penalty, depending on the jurisdiction. So the key elements for first-degree murder is premeditated and deliberation, meaning that the person planned this. So if I plan to bring a gun to school to shoot a kid that was bothering me at school, will we say that that's premeditated?
I missed the beginning of what you were saying because I had a audio issue on my end.
First-degree murder
is considered. Just answer that question.
First-degree murder is considered deliberate and premeditated. That's the only way you can get first-degree murder is if they can prove that it was planned and deliberate. From judging from what I heard that young boy say, I don't believe that it was deliberate. A person who deliberately meant to hurt you is not going to ask the police, "Are you okay?" A person who deliberately means to hurt you or premeditated to hurt you or harm you is not going to cry and say, "I wish he wouldn't have touched me."
Yeah. Well, I don't think.
I'll let you talk, so you're gonna let me talk. I gave you all.
I thought you were asking a question.
No questions. I'm talking right now. No, ma'am.
No, I thought you were asking a question.
No, ma'am. I'm talking. Okay. All right. So that I just read y'all the definition of what first-degree murder is. So when I learned the law, like she said, we need to learn the law. When I learned the law and found out what first-degree murder was, I'm like, how he didn't get second degree, how he didn't get third degree, how he didn't get manslaughter, how he didn't get aggravated assault. They went straight to first-degree murder off altercation that happened only because, now you can argue this all you want to, but the truth of the matter is the boy was sitting there first. We seen the video. The boy was sitting there first. Austin Metcalf comes up to him with a gang of guys and try to force him out of a place that he was already sitting. Number one, we don't have the power to tell nobody to move at a track meet that someone paid to get in. You don't get to track meets unless you pay. So if I pay to get in, I'll be damned if you're going to tell me that I got to move, and I'll be damned if I'm just supposed to be humble enough to move just because you say so. So that's neither here nor there. That's here. Say we can debate on that all we want to. But the truth of the matter is, if Austin Metcalf never puts his hands on Carmelo Anthony, the boy would still be alive today, or he wouldn't have been killed by Carmelo. If he would have never made the first aggressive move, we would have never been here today. I think we can all agree that a person at 17 years old does not have a frontal lobe develop. And your frontal lobe develop is where your reasoning is where your understanding is. That is where your impulse lies. So I think that it is very unfair to say that a person who is 17 years old is capable of making rational decisions in a heat of passion. Okay, now, so because I said all that, my emotions about hearing a first-degree verdict after knowing about another case that happened in Texas where, and I'm going to bring that case up because I do have the exact information on it. There is another case in Texas, and this case in Texas involved Ryan McCarthy. Ryan McCarthy was a 16-year-old white male with a clean record prior to this incident. In 2017, during a school assembly, Ryan brought a firearm and shot a fellow student following a dispute. The charges, this was in Texas, the same state that Carmelo Anthony was charged in. The charges for shooting somebody with a gun at school, he was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He was sentenced to 10 years in a juvenile facility with the possibility of parole in 5 years. I heard and I remember the Ryan McCaffrey case. So it was hard for me to know that in my memory bank, to know that in the same state with a lesser deadly weapon that someone was given first-degree murder for a situation that didn't happen or wasn't planned in prior. If I brought a gun to school for following a dispute, would that not mean that was premeditated, Lady Alva? Now I'm asking you a question. If I brought a gun to school because I previously had an altercation with a boy and I shoot that boy at school, is that not premeditated? Yes or no? Just yes or no, yes. Not no extra stuff, just yes or no.
It can be argued premeditated. Yes, it can be argued premeditated.
I brought the gun to school, not to the track meet after school activities, to the actual school assembly. He shot him in school. And you don't think that was premeditated?
I said it can be argued.
You said that it can be argued. You said it can be argued that it's not premeditated.
No, I said it can be argued that it is premeditated. Yes.
BU, what is your opinion on that?
That's premeditation.
If I bring this gun to school, in school hours,
already beefing. Yeah.
At following a dispute with the same student that I go back to school and shoot and kill, and I was only given a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
You brought up a good thing, which was he had a gun. Not a knife. Like he had a gun, not a pocket knife. Yeah,
and a pocket knife that was 3 inches, y'all. A little tiny ass little. It's a lot of little boys that go to school with little box cutters and stuff. I was one of those kids. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't to harm anybody. It's just as a little boy growing up, little boys have knives. That's just one little thing the little boys get. Now, I'm not justifying killing nobody. That's not what we're saying, Lady Alba. But judging by the state and judging by how Texas did somebody just 2 years prior, they were giving not even a murder charge, not even a manslaughter charge. They were getting aggravated assault, and he was only given 10 years in prison with the chances of parole.
Why they decided that?
You said what now?
Why did the jury come up with that? Or what? I mean, what was the other factors of why that charge was decided?
Lady Alva, the factors of that charge was that he was a white boy.
Oh, that's all you know.
All right.
Okay.
I'll give you another case.
I'm sure
The
that's not
case
what
of
it
Juan.
says on the dockets, though. That he was a white boy. That's
No,
why he got that
I'm sure
charge.
it does not. I'm
So
sure it does not.
I'm not asking your psychological mindset. I'm asking, or your emotional reasoning. I'm asking, what was the reason why they came up with that charge? How? Because I don't know that case. And cases have similarities, yet they're different.
Okay.
So
I'll give you another one.
Know the case.
Okay, I'll give you another one. In the same state of Texas, Juan Hernandez was 17 years old, the same age as Carmelo Anthony, had no prior criminal records. In 2018, during an altercation in a high school in San Antonio, Hernandez fatally stabs a classmate. He was charged with murder. In 2020, he was convicted with a 15 years in prison. The court had considered his age and the circumstances of the fight, emphasizing that he needed to be rehabilitated. I give you another case in Texas. Miguel Lopez, 19 years old, with a history of minor infractions. In 2019, he shot and killed a student during an altercation outside of school in Houston. In 2021, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The judge focused on the gravity of the crime while also announcing the defendant potential to reform. So those are three cases that I just gave you that are where a student was killed around the same age with the same background, and one of them was actually a stabbing, and he stabbed him 4 times. Carmelo stabbed him once. So I ask again, how does a jury that gave a kid that stabs a kid 4 times 10 years in prison, gave a kid who shot a kid that brought a school to shoot a kid 15 years in prison, and then gave another kid 20 years in prison for shooting a kid, but he was 19. But Carmelo Anthony was given first-degree murder for 35 years.
I can't answer that question unless I know the details
on a case. Yeah, I understand. You and the rest of the and a lot of America feel that way.
I'm not going to utter an answer if I don't have the knowledge of those cases, because I'm not going to give an answer based upon my judgment, my emotion, or my historical trauma.
Isn't okay?
If I have that, but many Black folks do. We are deeply in that historical trauma.
BU, in your opinion, hearing the cases that I just gave you, Miguel Lopez who was 19 years old. He shot and killed a student during an altercation in high school in Houston. He was given 20 years in prison, and judge focused on the gravity of the crime and said that he had the ability to reform. Explain to me how Miguel Lopez has the ability to reform at 19 years old. He brought a gun to school.
2 years
shot a kid.
older than Carmelo.
2 years older than when Carmelo did this incident. But Carmelo Anthony, with a 3-inch knife, stabs a person 1 time, and they call that first-degree murder. And I'm not arguing that he killed the boy and that he shouldn't get no consequences. No, that is not what we're saying. But what I'm saying is, judging by these 3 cases that I pulled up that happened in the last 3 years, and that recently just had sentencing, all of those outcomes were lesser charges. And the only difference between these guys is that that boy is Black. You can say what you want, but the proof is in the data.
There's a difference based upon the law from state to state.
It's in the same state. All these happen in Texas.
The same state. It's the same state. All this is the same state.
All this happened in the same state.
And you stand your ground in Texas, right? So you can't meet force with unmatched force. Right there, that creates an issue. It has to be of the same measure. You can't do it.
So shooting somebody. So
right there,
let me ask you a question.
That's the law. Wait, that's the law. Do
Okay.
we know that? That is the law. That is the
Okay.
law. That is, like I said, the law is
Let me ask you-
rigid and it has its
can I-
definition.
Can I ask you a
You
question?
can't just conjure it up. It's not a blanket. It's not a blanket
Can I-
that you cover up, and it's
Okay.
that's it.
Can I ask you a question?
You've been asking me questions.
Can I
Why
ask you?
not?
All right. Would you consider a gun or a knife more deadly?
Both can be.
I didn't ask you that. I said
Depending
which
on-
one is more.
More.
I think they're both deadly. I don't see one more deadly than the other.
Okay.
I don't.
Do you
They're
think a
both
gun or a
deadly.
knife is more deadly?
I think a gun is more deadly. Literally, I mean, I can shoot you from way from over here.
For
They're
a
both
knife, I
stab
have
you.
to be up close and personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to be up and close and personal for a gun. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that a student brought a gun to school with no intentions on using it?
You asking BU or me? Who you asking?
I'm asking BU. I'm asking BU.
No, because I mean, look at it, Columbines and all that. No, if you bring in some shit to school, it's for a reason. If you bring in a fucking gun to school, it's for a reason.
Do you think if someone brought a pocket knife to school, did they have absolutely intentions on using it?
No, nah. It's a pocket knife. I didn't even know you could kill a nigga with a pocket knife. Yeah, actually,
a 3-inch knife, y'all.
real.
A 3-inch knife,
Hey,
and it only
I
went 2 inches. It only went 2 inches in, according to the coroner. Lady Alva,
Yes.
if I brought a gun to school, if I brought a gun to school, if I brought a gun to school, would you say that I had intentions on using that gun?
I say anyone that's carrying around a weapon have the weapon for intentions to use it when and if necessary.
Okay, thank you.
That's the reason why you're
Okay,
carrying that weapon. The knife that Carmelo had was not a 3-inch knife. It was a 6-inch knife.
Okay.
And there's a name to it too.
All right.
The blade
All right.
wasn't 6
So
inches.
show
And
me
he
that
had-
because my
and he
show me
brought
that
the
because
knife
I just
to
watched the
track meet.
corner and the corner
The
said
same
it was a
as
3-inch knife.
Well, the same difference as the guy who brings a gun to the party. He brought a knife to a track meet.
Where are you getting
It
your
wasn't-
information
it wa-
from? Because I just watched the case on Law and Order, and they showed the 3-inch knife in evidence. I literally watched the case before we started the podcast. So what information are you getting?
I think I'm getting the correct information.
No. So what
It's
she's
a
confused.
it was a
The
6-inch
gadget
knife.
was 6 inches.
It was. That's what the
blade
people
was
were saying.
Only 3.
Thank
blade
you.
was only 3
6-inch
inches.
knife.
The
Thank you.
gadget was 6 inches.
Let me see.
And you said that's what the people were saying. Not
Yeah.
And the coroner said that it only went in 2 inches.
The folding while carrying a folding blade under 5.5 inches is legal in Texas state law. Bringing it onto school grounds is strictly illegal. The knife was the Ozark Trail 6-inch multi-tool pocket knife. That's what they say it is.
6 inches is with the blade extended
It's
from.
blade. When you measure a knife, you're talking about the length of the blade.
No, it's a multi-tool. They're talking about 6-inch multi-tool.
And what does that mean? What does that mean?
The blade was 3 inches. The multi-tool was 3 inches because the blade
really?
folds into the multi-tool. I have one. Yeah. The blade folds into it. So it doubles it. 3 times 2, 6, you know.
Okay.
It says, we got a question in the comments that says, do you feel that Edward should have spoke up and stated that he invited him over and that he knew him? Carmelo took it out and Austin pushed forward into the knife. Now a witness speaks up. So I really hope the case get appealed, is what they said. So there's different eyewitness account. We're not going to argue how it happened. The situation happened now.
All
My
of the
only
eyewitnesses
my
for
my
Carmelo,
only
Mr. The initial things that they said they would say when they got up on the stand, it turned out different. Nobody said, and that became a problem in the trial because the witnesses said Carmelo started it. They literally said that. Carmelo was the one with causing the problem. Witnesses before their verbal altercation ensued. Well, while the verbal thing was going down, witnesses with other athletes were saying to Austin, "Don't touch him. Just don't," because Carmelo kept repeating that, "Don't touch him, don't touch him." But he did, and Austin shouldn't have. But Carmelo met him back from that push with a knife. And right there, Carmelo changed the whole script of his fate.
Okay. Do you agree with the first degree murder charge?
Nope.
Based upon what I read, yes, I can understand that the jury, that's what they were left with because of all the circumstances. There was no self-defense. There was no fear that Carmelo had. He did run after he did it. He brought the knife.
He was by
to
himself.
the
He was outnumbered, but he was
not being bullied. He was not being jumped. He wasn't being
so
no. I said correction. He was not being jumped on. They did not gang up on him. None of these things happened, and he met a physical push with an unmeasured force.
Okay. All right. Does that seem deliberate does that seem deliberate or premeditated?
And for me,
yes or no? Yes or no?
Logically, I thought that, like I said already, it appears that some type of friction was going on with these boys. And Carmelo decided to post up that day.
Post up. Okay, so the video shows Carmelo. The video shows Carmelo coming from another entrance than them, and it shows him being singular. If you see the clip where the boys are going into the track meet, they already look like they on some shit. Like I've been a young boy. I've been in high school. The way that them boys was walking to the track meet already looked like they was finna start some shit. Now you can speculate on that, or you want to
judgment, but that's not what the jury's debate.
Absolutely,
the jury didn't debate that.
Right, I agree.
That's what the jury didn't debate that. But even still, you cannot meet.
I love how you talk over me.
A physical altercation with unmeasured force. You can't do it. You cannot meet a physical altercation with a weapon. Right then and there, you put yourself in a whole nother category of murder if that person, which he did.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If I bring a gun to school and I shoot your kid, do you believe that I should get first degree murder?
You're asking very
yes or no. Yes or no.
And no.
Yes or no. It's a yes or no question.
Okay. And here's my answer. I can't answer that like that.
All right.
I won't answer.
Be you. If a kid had an altercation with your son the day before and he brings this gun to school the next day and he kills your son in school with a gun, do you believe that he should get first degree murder?
Yep, and in Texas, you can get death penalty.
So yes or no? Do you believe that child should have gotten first degree murder? Yes or no?
What are we? What I'm trying to figure out. What are we discussing here? What we believe or what is lawful? Because what are we teaching our children with our beliefs? Everybody's belief has different beliefs. And I'm gonna say, I'm thankful.
We're speaking on the law. We're speaking on the law, and I love how you keep cutting me off, but you want to talk about teaching our children.
What I thought you were asking. I thought you brought it back around to me.
I said, "Be you," and then you spoke over him.
Oh, okay.
But now you have the floor, Lady Alva.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to understand the terminology though. What do you believe?
Okay.
If the law doesn't work on belief,
Right. I read you what first degree murder is. So it's not about what I believe. First degree murder is premeditated and deliberate. I asked a simple question. I said, if your son got into an altercation with a boy the day before, and that boy come to school the next day with a gun and shoot your son, how is that not premeditated? How is that not deliberate?
answered you though. I said you can argue.
No,
You
ma'am. You told me you
can.
couldn't answer that, is what you said.
No, that
You
you
did.
asked
You
that
didn't say
question
that.
already. I said you can argue that that is premeditated. That is a ground that you can stand on, premeditated. You can
But he
argue
said
that.
he did say yes or no, and then you said I can't answer.
No, yeah, I'm because I have my reasons why. See, I'm not gonna be baited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak the truth though. I'm not
Okay.
gonna be baited.
All right. So I think your truth is kind of biased, because I sit here and just ask you.
No,
I read you what first degree murder. I'm talking. Please, for the love of God, please don't interrupt me. I asked you. I explained what first degree murder was, and then I gave you a scenario, and in that scenario was deliberate and premeditation, and then I asked you if that happened to your child. Do you agree or disagree that the other child should be given first degree murder? You told me you could not answer that. That's fine.
right now
So we're
roll
gonna move
back
right along.
because
So
you
we're gonna
initially
move
roll
right along.
back.
No,
You
we're gonna move
initially
right
answered
along.
that question,
Okay.
and my answer to the question when it was in proper context for me to answer is that you can argue that it is premeditated, and I stand on my answer.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. What conversations did this case spark in the community regarding racial justice? When you see
This right
when you
here.
heard about the three other cases that when you hear about the three other cases that I read you, in the same state, around the same age, where it happened at school, where another student killed another student. Every one of those cases where a kid was unalive, in those cases seemed premeditated, because one guy stabbed a kid 4 times, the other 2 guys brought guns to school. So in those 3 cases, neither one of those young boys were given a first degree murder charge, and the judge said because they had the ability to be reformed because of their age. So I'm asking, how does the community not see that as a racial injustice when the similar charges around the same age with the similar background as far as criminal, and every one of those boys were given a lesser sentence?
Hey,
How do we
I believe
justify that? How do we justify that as saying the law is equal for everybody?
The law is not equal. That's what I said initially.
you can't justify it.
But I can't answer that what you're saying and dive into it, because I have to know all of the mitigating factors. I have to. So if I don't know the mitigating factors of how they came upon that decision, I can't answer your question. And I'm not hearing all the mitigating factors right here, right now.
I will say, Mister, you said judging by, which I believe all of these 3-4 different people had different judges as well.
Yes. Absolutely.
So judging by that, they had different judges, yada yada.
Usually when you get in judge, there is a jury of your peers. There was no African Americans in Carmelo's Anthony case. Wouldn't somebody of an African descent be of his peership? Yes or no?
Should be, definitely, 100%.
The African Americans weren't on the case because they weren't accepted. They were rejected because of their responses to, what is it? Lack of a better term, when they're choosing who's going to, the jurors, when they're choosing them, the questions they ask, because of their responses, they weren't on the case. They got
See, what you're
rejected.
seeing was only certain responses. Other people gave different responses.
Well, according to
So they portray it as bad, but those weren't
yeah.
those were the responses that you
Yeah,
see.
well,
Other people
between
gave different
the prosecutor and the defense, that's their jury pool to pick from, to accept or deny. That's how that's played, and you get what
Yeah.
you get. We can't commit crimes and then choose our jury. That's not how it works.
Yeah, his defense did not make no type of argument. Like, if you watch the case, it's almost like like his lawyer was working for the state because he didn't fight nothing. He didn't rebuttal nothing. He didn't have a response for anything that they countered with. But moving right along.
I like to say something
back,
to that. I like to
of
say
course.
something to that.
Of
I
course.
think that his lawyer didn't do a well enough job to in defense of him, for sure. And then it also appears that the lawyer didn't have much to work with to defend Carmelo. So it begs to question of, that's not a good look for Carmelo. That's where the question is, oh wow, he did this really for no reason. Because even with all the talk of it was a fight, he was bullied, all of these things that were happening, but the lawyer couldn't present any of this stuff that was happening, that the people were saying on this wide web, So, but they got a bad lawyer, and the report on that lawyer is horrible anyway. This lawyer has done some really criminal acts himself. So, horrible ones.
They said it was 2 and they got switched out. They said in Texas it should have been at least 1. Yeah.
But can I ask this question? I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So do we think because we get a black juror or we get black jurors that they are automatically going to protect us from our crimes? That is their position. Their position is to judge us or sentence us less or judge us differently because they're black, I'm black? Or
No,
is
ma'am.
there is a juror supposed to be unbiased?
No, ma'am. I don't think that just because you're black, that means that you're supposed to help go against or help go for the person of your hue. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is if we're going to use the law for the law says that you're supposed to have a jury of your peers. He did not have a jury of his peers. That was my only argument there. And for furthermore, we've also brought up several cases in the same state where they could have been where they were young kids, same age, killing another kid, and they seem to be premeditated because we both can agree and we both can make the argument that if I brought a gun to school and shot a kid that I just had an altercation with the day before, I probably deliberately meant to do that. And none of those cases were given first-degree murder. I think all of those cases were looking at the age of the young men involved, and that was taken into consideration. And I just think that time and time again, history have shown us, data has shown us, the numbers have shown us that when we are on the stand, we never get a fair shake. So I believe the outrage in the black community is not trying to justify the fact that he killed somebody. No, we're not justifying the killing. Hell no. Nobody is justifying that he should have killed him just because he got pushed. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is he was a 17-year-old kid. He was surrounded by kids that were bigger than he was. He did something to protect himself, and bare minimum, it should have been a manslaughter. It should have been self-defense. Hold on.
Okay.
So when it could have been aggravated, I killed a kid with a gun and I got aggravated assault and I got 10 years in prison. This guy stabbed a person one time and he got 35 years.
See, that's there's some pointers that you just mentioned that the jury didn't find that it was self-defense. They threw that out. So that's what led them to the other charge.
Okay.
They had no evidence that it was self-defense whatsoever. The jury can only put the charges based upon what they get, the evidence they get, what was lawful, what was unlawful. Something else you said that I wanted to say, and how I treated. What did you say? The black people are not saying, okay.
The jurors.
It's not about that. No, that we're not trying to excuse the murder.
We're focused on the sentencing. We're not talking about the murder. He should. Nobody is justifying. Nobody is justifying that Austin Metcalf should not be here today. No, nobody is arguing that you should take someone's life. No, that's not what we're arguing.
Right.
The argument is the argument is the length of the time for the crime.
So what you brought me back. Thank you to that, because my thought had slipped for a moment. And that's what. So what is the length of time that someone should get for murder? Because whoever they murdered, their time is gone.
Absolutely.
How do you accurately judge that? How
on the
do you
circumstances?
Judge that?
Because we have scales of murder. We have aggravated assault. We have manslaughter. We have third degree. We have third degree murder. We have second degree murder, and then we have first degree murder, which is the highest degree, which is premeditated, deliberate. I absolutely meant to do this. Right. I don't believe he should have got first degree murder. I don't believe he absolutely meant to kill that boy. If he did, he wouldn't have asked the officer, "Is he okay?" He wouldn't have cried and said, "Why did he touch me?"
Mm-hmm. I need to say this to that. I did hear it too, that he asked, "Are you okay?" And I've heard a lot of people who've done harmful things and then ask, "Are you okay?" or ask someone, "Is he or she okay?" It doesn't hold much weight. Somewhat, you're hearing a sense of probable remorse. But the first remorse comes from mind your actions first.
Okay. How do you think the outcome of this case will influence future cases involving self-defense claims? BU.
Are they gonna let him get an appeal, or how is that gonna work out?
I believe they're raising money for him to get in a better lawyer in an appeal. Yeah.
So I think after we see
we got comments. Yeah. What about you, Lady Abba? What do you think the outcome of cases? What do you think this outcome would influence more self-defense cases? How do you think it would influence it? How do you think this case would influence
it? As I initially said, it's already influenced it by wanting to teach the young people the law. So in the hopes that we don't get into these situations, the generations now growing, the generations to come. And that should be the focus of what we should be doing, is teaching our kids better. Really. So I think that's how it's going to be helpful.
Right. BU, when you want to read that for me?
as a parent and the way the world is, especially in our young youth, my kid will defend himself at all costs. Shouts out, Big Rock.
I got one more for you.
He never said he didn't do it. So yes, he still would have got time, but not 35 years. I agree with that. I agree with the guy who said 10, 15. Okay, that's reasonable because he did kill somebody. But 35 years,
there should be consequences for your actions. No one is denying that.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, now I have an interesting question. From a lot of accounts, neither one of us was there. By a large quantity of accounts says that, I mean, even if you see the video that I've seen, you can see the shove, you can see the push, and it looks like it's coming from the other kid because if you see the video, he ups and ran, so he's the guy getting pushed first. So I asked this question. Judging by the video I seen, you can definitely see the shove, and everybody says that Austin pushed Carmelo first. Okay, judging by what everybody has accounted, even in court, they have said that the push was initiated. Okay, that Austin initiated the push. Can you agree that if he never gets pushed, the situation never gets escalated to a stab? Can we agree to that?
Yes. Also, and this wasn't brought up either. Also, like, you're pushing me, like, we're not on flat ground. We're in the stands. That could be deadly.
Yeah.
That could be deadly. And nobody ever brought that up.
Lady Abel, you got something to say?
Yeah. If can we agree that if Austin doesn't push, that he would still be alive?
Yeah.
Knowing Carmelo's his posture, knowing Carmelo's posture, with that's not changed. His posture is the same, right? If we knowing that, I can't.
He was sitting down. Someone invited him over because the video shows him being walked.
You don't have to break it down. I'm just asking. We know his posture, and with that, I have to say I can't agree. I can't agree because Carmelo was the only one in there knowing that he was brandishing a knife, that he had a knife. He's the only one who knew that. He knew what he had. So I cannot agree that if Metcalf didn't push him, that nothing would not have happened. He might still be alive if Carmelo didn't pull that knife and he just pushed him back or punched him, whatever, had a hand-to-hand fight. But knowing Carmelo's,
I'm gonna pull this other video. I'm gonna pull this other video up to show you.
Please do.
I can't say
because the other video shows him walking by himself and being called to the bleachers.
That doesn't have anything to do with your question, though. Now,
okay, my question. Okay, so my question was, if Austin doesn't push Carmelo, would we say that he could still be alive today?
Could is the key word. Could is the key word. But initially you said, would you agree that he would be alive? And I said, I cannot agree, knowing Carmelo's posture, not unchanged.
So you knew his posture.
We're talking hindsight.
So you knew his mind. You knew that he went there and deliberately went to harm somebody. By himself, solo.
We're talking hindsight. So what I'm saying, the question you're asking is speaking from hindsight to give an answer to that. So we know that you removed.
When you say posture, the boy was sitting down on the bleachers and they told him to move.
The posture is this. Both of them have a posture. Metcalf's posture is wind up pushing Carmelo. Carmelo's posture is don't put your hands on me, hand in the bag. Only he knows he got a knife in there. Just like stewing. Right? So you removed Metcalf's posture. He doesn't push. You didn't remove Carmelo's posture. That's why I can't agree.
Okay. All right. We're going to move right along because I know some people are, they are fixated on what the media says. What role do you think the public opinion played in this trial outcome?
Ask the question again. Can you ask
BU, what role do you think the public opinion played in the trial outcome?
It wasn't a good role. I mean, and you're seeing people trying, but it wasn't enough. And it's Texas, to be fair. Like,
yeah,
it's Texas. Like, without saying it, you know what I'm saying. It's
exactly.
Texas, so it's like
he was in a good old boy state.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like can't really win.
Yeah. Lady Alba, what role do you think the public opinion played in the trial's outcome?
In the trials, I don't think the public opinion played any. What role do I think the public opinion played, or what influence? What do you mean?
The question is, what role do you think the public opinion played in the trial's outcome?
They didn't have a role in the trial's outcome.
Okay.
And if any influence they had in the trial's outcome was the disgracefulness of not showing empathy or compassion that a boy is dead. Someone's son is dead.
Okay.
And the other, we know his life is greatly damaged. So 2 souls tragically altered. 1 no longer breathing.
All right. Cyrus Belton was killed because he had allegedly stolen a bottle of water from the store. He has an altercation with the cashier. Well, he has a verbal confrontation with the cashier. They believe that he stole water out the store. He shows his hand like, look, I don't have nothing in my hoodie. And then he proceeds to leave the store. The video surveillance shows him walking out of the store, not running, but walking. The son and the dad are seen on surveillance camera running after Carmelo. I said Carmelo, running after Cyrus. After Cyrus looks around, looks behind him, he sees the 2 men charging after him. He immediately begins to sprint out of the frame. The next thing we know, he's dead. The projectile round was shot in his back. The alleged shooter said that he had a gun pointed at his son. The evidence does not show that the young boy, because he got shot in the back, it doesn't show that he was pointing a gun at the 2 assailants that was chasing him. They chased him for 130 yards. The boy fell and was shot in the back. Now, there's evidence saying that the young boy had a gun, but there's no evidence that it was loaded, and there's no evidence that he was ready to fire it. Rick Chow just got acquitted for his murder. What is your opinions on that, Lady Alva?
I
He was a 14-year-old boy.
I listened to that case, and honestly, I was confused in how they came up with that decision. which I said to myself, now I have to go and learn some of the laws of that land because I have no idea of the laws of that land, because I was definitely confused on how they came up with that decision. That case also disturbed me, greatly emotional. I shedded tears for that young man. I don't understand the the adults in this case, because that's the child's an adult man and his son, to chase a young youth, a young person out of a store for that length that they did
Yeah.
over a bottle of water. I just don't understand that. Like, once they even leave like the property of where your establishment in, I mean, just let it go.
Yes.
You know the kid, you probably gonna see him again. Maybe you see his parents. Do something like that. I don't understand. I didn't necessarily have faith in what the son was saying on the jury stand, and him saying he's got a gun. What did he really point? Because all the other witnesses said they never saw Cyrus point a gun.
Right.
So how only the son saw him point a gun? Did he just, is he lying? Did he see the gun on the ground? And that's the gun?
Yeah.
There's a thing that we do in this country over and over again, race to race, black, white, Asian to black. And I'm really tired of it and sick and tired of it. And for me, I have to navigate in my life the pocket that I'm going to sit in comfortably without being caught up in this mess and with these type of people. But I'm going to say this, the Asian culture has been for decades very provocating towards our culture and how we come into our stores and how they watch us and follow us and all of that. This is not anything new that they do. They've been doing this for decades. I've been saying stop patronizing them, especially when they come and set up shop in our communities. Because to me, you don't get to come in my community and set up shop and then watch me. I'm taking care of giving you my hard-earned money. Like, but yet the crime is here. Crime happens. But with our children, grown man, you don't chase down my son to kill him and shoot him in the back over a goddamn bottle of water. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
My question, go ahead, BU.
Just to follow up on y'all, the bad thing is, yes, he was shot in the back. Like, that's terrible because, I mean, that's an automatic crime. Like, you automatically get time to shoot somebody who's retreating. Another thing is, which Lady Alva, you kind of said, like, the Asian culture, which is like, he's running, he ran 130 something yards. It's not only one business. It's not only one camera. There's other footages that weren't brought up. But what that is, that's them sticking together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on now. Because there's cameras on every fucking building.
Not only that, if the man did steal something from your store, we seen in that video when he was arguing with the lady, I seen his ass vividly. They had a good ass camera system. You know what I mean? I seen his face structure and everything vividly. I've been in many gas stations or many convenience stores where there's a wall of shame where they got pictures of people who done stole from their store. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so confused. And also, I've been in retail sales. If you are I used to work at Champs in the mall. If someone would have came in there and steal a shoe, do you know that I would get fired if I put my hands on that person trying to get them? I'm supposed to just let them take it and and call authorities. So my question is, what made them feel passionate enough to chase him down several blocks to where now you fear for your life? You chasing him, but you fear for your life and takes his? To me, that don't add up.
I have an answer for that.
Yes, ma'am.
many people and many races, ethnicities are too frustrated. We have become extremely frustrated in our day-to-day living. I can only imagine that, and from the frustration, we make our decisions.
Right.
From the frustration, you might just be that one where that's it, not today, no more. And boom, I'm on you. Because I done dealt with this for how long, and it wasn't you, but it was many that look like you, or or your kind, or it was other kinds too.
Mhm.
But that frustration, people need to heal. We need to heal so we can act accordingly with one another. Because I can imagine he was frustrated. Had enough. I looked at video. The son is watching him from behind the counter. I know this so well because I've literally seen it. I've literally experienced it. I thought to myself, this young man I'm gonna cry about it.
It's all right. That people need to see it because
This
this is the way it makes us feel.
Showed us something that is happening when he walks into that store, or someone who looks like him that walks into that store. He taunted, and it looked to me like he's playing with them, taunting them. I'm gonna take a bottle, I'm gonna put it back. He's playing checkers or something with the water bottles. You know what I'm saying? So he's taunting them. He knows what's happening to him, or maybe people that look like him, his peers, when they go in that store. I'm sure he didn't expect that was going to happen, because he went out there and said, I don't have nothing. He did everything right, even coming into the store, put his bag down. I mean, that's even odd that I got to check when some places with the crime, they do want to check your bag. But it's just horrific. I think the thing is that we need to see what is happening, how we're letting some of these businesses into our communities, and how they think they have the right to be authoritarians or policing our children. And that I don't go for at all. Because I come from a time where, no, you wait till you go get the parents, or you wait till the parent come in there, or you something. You have information on the boy. You got all these damn cameras in here. You can find out who he belonged to and who he is. Call the cops. Not chase my son. He's not a slave. What are you doing? Over a bottle of water. That case to me, I put so many comments. I said, y'all all need to stop patronizing that store. It's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, while they were chasing him, who knows? Hey, niggas could have been stealing other shit, because they both left chasing him. They could have been stealing other shit out the store. Why they chasing him over
the wife was still in the store. The wife was still in the store.
Hey, she ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, but the two arms was out. You're right. You're right. Something bigger could have happened. Could have transpired. Correct.
Over water.
Kids steal things. All of us did it. Some of us didn't want to do it, but our peers put us up to it, because they doing it. You and then you got to steal something too. No, I don't. Yes, you know.
Man.
You can't steal stuff.
I done stole a piece of candy from the store. You know
I done stole a gun from the store, and I hid it under my bed. I got my ass whooped.
I got my ass whooped too. My mom made me go take it back, but the story is I did it. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I was able to live, you know what I mean, and learn from my mistakes. How did the not guilty verdict for Rick Child affect your feelings about the justice system, Lady Alva?
I still didn't get to the point to really dig into that case and the laws. That's what I needed to do. And that's what I said, because I need to understand how they came up with that decision.
He had a bona fide lawyer. I watched it.
That's my point of view. Now I can't give it anymore, because I need to have more facts and understanding of the law. And that was South Carolina, right? Yeah. and
South
how
Carolina, yes,
that,
ma'am.
yeah, and how they came up with that. Again, because the law is rigid. So you have to understand the law. And even when you don't like it or disagree with it, but the law is the law. So I didn't get to do that yet. But I'm appalled that how how
The how is he could afford a lawyer who knew the judge, and he had backing of the community of that the whole street about it. He had a
I mean, in
backing to where he can
South
afford
Carolina
it.
is not known to be, very friendly to African Americans, especially the particular city that
Yes.
it happened in is Columbus, which is like a ghetto in South Carolina, and it's predominantly a black community.
Mm.
There's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of violence inside of Columbus. So I think that because of the community and because of the area that he was in, I think I felt like in my just because I can only speculate, I can only give my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, I believe that we live in a society now, more prominent now because of the president that we have, that people that are prejudiced of us because of the way that we look are more comfortable or more open about being prejudiced towards us. And I think I honestly feel like the whole South Carolina court system, surviving this case and surrounding this case and the severity of it, and the time that the verdict was coming in, I really think it was meant to create chaos amongst the community, because typically, and I think we can all agree to this, if Cyrus had killed Rick Child, he would be in jail right now. And he was running, so he could have made a claim that he was scared for his life, turned around and shot Rick Child. How was he not given the benefit of the doubt of trying to stand his ground? Because two men are running after him. He's a 14-year-old kid. So hypothetically, he did have a gun. He's not given the right to defend himself when two men are outnumbering him, chasing him from a water that he showed them that he didn't have. So I just think that it's very wicked that Carmelo Anthony gets a 35-year life sentence for an accidental stabbing or accidental murder. He probably meant to stab him. He didn't mean to kill him. So he gets a murder charge for an accidental killing, while it's Rick Child in the same month walks free for shooting a 14-year-old in the back. I just think that this is a crazy time. And I think that they're just doing, I think the justice system is showing us, like, it's not designed to benefit people that look like you and I.
But listen, it is a crazy time, but you can't mix apples and oranges and say, you can't pick from here and pick from there and compare like that. It's more variables to everything, more mitigating factors. And again, the laws change state across borders, state to state. This is what I think. What is the solution? Because I mean, who black believes that racism is going to never be in this country? Do you believe that it will come to an end? Right. So what is the solution?
Believe that.
What is the solution for us? Do we find a way to fight the good fight, the good fight, or do we keep on attacking and blaming and frustrated, asking for excuses, passes? What do we do?
I think it's a longevity thing. Like, we came out of slavery. Like, I mean, like, it's not gonna be 100% clear. It's a longevity thing. Like, we keep doing stuff like we're doing now, but it's never gonna end. But the ratio could lessen.
Absolutely. I
those,
believe that. And the ratio has lessened because we have
yes.
not experienced anything that our ancestors had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I think that as long as we have people in power that pushes division and that pushes superiority, or white supremacy, if you will, that this will always be prevalent. And I also would like to add that people have made a GoFundMe for Rick Chow so that he would be able to get off of this case for killing a 14-year-old boy. I think that it's funny that it's so many people donated to Rick Chow, and you hear and you see people saying the little boy was a thug and he got what he deserved, speaking on Cyrus, but then those same faces would say that Carmelo Anthony is a murderous thug, and we should care more for the McCass family. I just think that's an oxymoron. It's like the same people that think that Carmelo Anthony is a murderous killer that deserves life in prison are the same people who funded Rick Chow being free for killing a 14-year-old black kid. I don't think that that's coincidence. I think that is taught hatred. And I think that society has shown us that there's this large separation between white privilege and blackness.
Old news. Old news. And guess
So
what?
we
It's
we agree on that, Lady Abaha.
It's the life that God has given us. It's the life and the journey that God has given us.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that, unfortunately, I would love to be optimistic, but I'm 35 right now. I don't think that in my lifetime I will see a time where America is not prejudiced.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's why it's
No.
important. That's why it's very important what we do with our lives when we're here. We have a fight to fight. I truly believe. I try to. You born black, you gotta you have a
Two strikes
purpose
against
to
you.
do some things. It say that
Yeah.
you not here just to be free willy, have fun. Hey, look good and all that. Click. You know, you got some real work to do. Now, you might not do it. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to be a kid. Whenever you get there, let me say, just know, before you leave here, while you're here, you got some real work to do.
Right.
That's it. And that's what we need to focus on.
How can we better support victim families in the wake of such tragedy? What do you think people can do to support the victim's family in the wake of such tragedy? Lady Alva, I got two parts of that questions for you. After you answer, after the second part of that question is, if Cyrus Belton was your son, how would you feel hearing a not guilty verdict?
Goddamn.
Let me roll you back on that one too. Before that emotion, while I was watching it, I couldn't understand. Is his mother in there? And along with her is his father, the family. How are they sitting in there? Because that child's son, my emotion watching it, if I could have jumped through the screen, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And popped right in the courtroom, right in front of that young man. Yeah. That's how I felt.
Yeah, his dad broke down. I watched it. His dad broke down.
Yeah. The second part of the question. Or the first, give me the first question again, because I had to roll back.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. How could we better support victims' families in the wake of such tragedy?
So in this case, the victim being Cyrus.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, as okay. Prayers. You look, if you can, I don't know if there's a to send letters, or we can do it right here, right now. I think the emotions that are displaying and talking about it give supports to the minds and hearts of victims' families. If they have anything set up for that, we can help. I don't, you have to look and see of how that is. But more so, I think overall, again, that support goes beyond just the victim family, the victims past and victims to come. Is to let's do the work.
Yeah.
And let's with teach to make decisions not from your high energy, frustrated emotions, because that's probable you're going to trip hard. And as a mother, once you trip hard and you in the hands of the authority, you don't have my hands anymore.
Yeah.
I can't help you. Especially certain hard trips. I can't help you. That frustrates me. I don't know why Carmelo Anthony, I was looking for her to be angry. Maybe she is. I don't know how she held it in, if she is. Because I'm mad that he did that. I'd be livid because if it's my son. It's tragic.
I ain't gonna say I'd be livid. I understand why it was done. I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-mm.
But yeah.
Mm-mm. It's better to walk away. Walk away,
in your
man.
opinion, BU, what do you think we can do to support the families in the wake of such tragedies? And also, second question, the same thing I asked her. If that was your son, and you just heard that Rick Chow was given a not guilty verdict after shooting your son in the back, what would be your emotions?
Just immediately thinking, I'll be in prison with him, and then like we're gonna be there together. Just immediately thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that wouldn't be the case ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, nigga, I ain't gonna be there as long as you're gonna be in there, but we going in there together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopping on your ass. So you heard it here first. yeah. And we get out, and then yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a asshole thing. And the other question?
Yeah. In the wake of such tragedies, what do you think we can do to support these families?
The families of the 14-year-old kid.
Yes, sir. The victim family. Yeah. Cyrus family.
I mean, you never know. I mean, it's all cliche. Yeah, be there for them. All this. You never know unless you've been through what they've been through. So you never know. But any little thing might help them. You never know.
Yeah.
They might not give a fuck. They might just want nobody to even talk to. They might want to be secluded. They might just want nothing, just their time to themselves. They might not want to be reminded of it all the time, stuff like that. They might not want stuff like they're trying to get over it. They don't want memories, and then you get in a card every day, and then now you gotta cry again. I just cried yesterday. I got this card. Now I gotta cry again. I gotta cry again. I gotta cry again. Like
keep reliving
it. People don't think about stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. For my answer for that question, I think there should be like foundations, nonprofits, foundations to help families that are victims of gun violence. And that should go towards helping the parents with grievance counselors. It should also go with legal, helping them get a very good attorney to represent them in cases like that. I really think that had a large part to do with the outcome of this case. You got a family who has money and a family who did not, and the boy also was a hue that the world looks at as dangerous. Often, whenever you see pictures painted of us or painted of them, you know what I'm saying, they show videos of him the day before with a gun in his hand. Since when can we not hold guns? Since when does me having a gun in my hand makes me a criminal? You see many white people go hunting with their kids. You can buy your son
10
a
years
rifle at
old.
16 years. Yeah, 16 years old. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's so funny that, you know what I'm saying, just because he was a black kid with a weapon, they made him a villain. Yes, Lady Alva.
I do take issue with how you just phrase that. Why can't I hold the gun? My son can't hold the gun because you don't know a damn thing about a gun. You didn't learn about a gun. You have to learn how to use something. You have to learn about what it is in order to hold it. That is one-on-one on everything. We learn about something it is because we're taught about it, and we hold it, we absorb it, and we hold it in our minds. And from our mind, we take this tool and we use it properly. So you cannot compare. If white kids, most of them, they're hunters. They're taught how to hunt. If there's white kids that didn't, they don't need to be holding guns either.
Wow.
Nobody needs to be holding a gun. Children, and you don't know about a gun.
Wow.
Period.
So, Lady Alva, I think you are speculating that the young man don't know anything about a weapon.
I think you were speculating that he does. I think you might have been speculating that he does. Wait a minute, because I said I take issue with what you said, how you phrased it, mister. Because you said, why can't a black kid hold the gun? Why can't I hold the gun? All of a sudden, I'm black, I got a gun, there's a problem. White kids hold gun, they go hunting and this and that. That's what I heard, and I take issue. I'm just saying. Okay. We don't want a black kid hold the gun without any reason and without any knowledge to know if he don't know about a gun.
Who's to say that those black kids hasn't been to the gun range and all that? Who's to say that?
Why? What part of y'all? I can't repeat it in another way. I only know one language, English. What?
Hey,
I think it's. I'm listening to you speak, and I feel like there's some hypocrisy in your speech. No, I feel like you feel like, hold on, can I talk? Because you love to cut me off. I feel like from listening to what you just said, I can only tell you from my perspective. From listening to what you just said, it makes me feel like you feel I'm just going off what I'm hearing. From what I'm hearing, when I hear you say that makes me think that you believe that white people are more deserving to carry weapons than black people are.
No, Mister, I'm going off of what you said, and what you just said. That message is that the message you're sending is that it's just okay for black young people to have guns. You said white people go hunting and this and that. What are black people doing with guns? Because we surely ain't going hunting.
No. Okay.
No.
So let me fix this.
So all the message, the message that is delivered from how you said that. So that's why I said I take issue with how you phrase that.
Yeah. I respect it. We can agree to disagree. My question, or what I was trying to say, was a picture with a gun of a black kid is automatically vitalized as him being a criminal, and the same white boy can hold the same gun with the same ignorance of weapons, and nobody bats an eye because of what you just said. Because history had told us that white people are more capable with the weapon than black people. That white people are. I agree that it isn't true, but based off the way you're saying it, you're basically. We didn't put no context behind it, so we didn't say that the black boy don't know nothing. I just said, why is it that a black kid can hold a gun and be considered a criminal, and a white kid can hold a gun and no one bats an eye.
No, that's not what I was responding to, mister. Now you done
understand.
changed up your wording there. The wording
Okay.
is changed now.
All right. All right. What I said was they posted pictures of him with a gun to try to vitalize him, to make him seem like a vicious, and try to make him seem like less than human, or demonize him. This is what I said the media did by showing a picture of the young boy with a gun the day before the incident happened.
Okay.
I said, why is he? And then I said, why is him holding a gun automatically means that he's a criminal or that he's vicious? I said, white people hold guns all the time, even go hunting with them, and nobody says nothing. That was what I said.
I think people do say something because it's a big talk in this country about guns and the rid of guns. So I think a lot of people are talking about that. Even the hunters that hold guns, they don't want them here. Many of people don't want it anymore. It's a big deal. So it is talk about it. But we have to also, we have the accountability that we have to hold is that, yeah, that don't look nice. I don't like that. You show a picture of a young black person with a gun and victimize him, illusionalize him as a criminal. But the truth is, this is actually what's happening.
Cyrus Bryant did not have a criminal record. So just because that young man had a, I was only talking about Cyrus.
I said happening. No, but the fact that that is actually happening, you understand? Nothing happens from one thing. It's a build of things. And it winds up falling heavily on the head of one or a few.
Okay. As everyday people, what can we learn from both cases about our community response to violence and racism?
Ask it one more time. As everyday
people.
Yes, ma'am.
As everyday people, what can we learn from both cases about our community's response to violence and racism?
It's control, bro. It's control. That's the biggest word, and like control goes a long way. You can put it a lot of different ways. Control your kids, control your community, control, like, reaction or how you react, control.
Okay, Lady Alva, as everyday people, what can we learn from both cases about our community's response to violence and racism?
What can we learn based upon both cases and the community's response? That we are pushing very close to becoming uncivilized in our humanity. If we are already not teetering there, or there, but not far beyond. And hopefully we don't want to get there. This is bestiality mentality, what is being displayed. And we don't want that. When we're allowing ourselves, the adults, children, to not stay within boundaries, when everyone thinks, or the majority thinks, how I want it, when I want it, where I want it, let me be me and all that jazz. You don't need boundaries. We're going downhill in our humanity as civilized humans. Boundaries bring us structural, explorative values to our lives. Structural, explorative values to our lives. Boundaries. We need them.
All right. My answer to that question is everyday people, what can we learn about both cases about our community's response to violence and racism? I think one thing that we can learn about our community is that the community is biased. I think we can also learn that the violence is okay when other people are on the ends of violence. you see many cases where um, where African Americans are being killed by the hands of people from other ethnicities, and you often see those people get reduced cases or a slap on the wrist. And I often find it that when it's vice versa, when it's a black kid killing a white kid, we get the maximum penalty. And I think that is something that should be noted. Um, and I believe that there's a lot of hatred and division amongst the community, and compassion and empathy is lacking on both sides. That's what I can learn from these two cases about violence and crime and racism. Um, Before we get up out of here, Lady Albert, don't you want to do the celebrity birthdays and the fun facts for us?
Oh, sure. Oops. Let me pull up the page again. Do I have a miss?
I sent it in the group chat.
Yes, I got them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, celebrity birthdays for June 21st. Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, born 1982. Lana Del Rey, born 1985. Pratt, born 1979. Nicole Kidman, born 1967. Happy birthday, Nicole. That's just, well, I have my reasons why I personalize that. Julio Iglesias, born 1943. John Paul Sartre, born 1905. Yeah. Ray Davies, born 1944. Carson Daly, born 1973. Meredith Vieira, born 1953. Bernie Copo, born 1933. Moving right along, the 10 fun art facts and historical events associated with this day, June 21st. Summer solstice or solstice celebrations. That's word is tripping me up. But June 21st marks the summer solstice. I said it right the first time. Leading to many festivals celebrating art, music, and culture around the world. Birth of Jean-Paul Sartre, 1905. Sartre's
Existentialist,
existentialist philosophy has influenced art, literature, and theater, promoting discussions on the human condition. Opening of Louvre Pyramid, the iconic or Louvre, the iconic glass pyramid of the Louvre Museum became a symbol of modern architecture and design. I always mess up that word in the pronunciation. If the original
Ed was French word, I think, right?
He'd hit it on the head for me. Yeah. Birth of Ray Davies, 1940. Did I go? Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. It's just gonna tell you about him. Yeah.
1944, as the lead singer of the Kinks, Davies transformed rock music with his lyrical storytelling. Carson Daly's birthday, 1973. Daly has played a significant role in shaping pop culture through music and entertainment programming. Meredith Vieira's birthday, 1953. Vieira's work in journalism and television brings stories to life, contributing to the art of media. Birth of Nicole Kidman, 1967. Kidman's versatile performance have made her a key figure in contemporary cinema. Opening of the Guggenheim Museum, Bilbao.
Bilbao. Okay.
Bilbao. Designed by Frank Gehry. This museum has become a landmark for contemporary art. Birth of Chris Pratt, 1979. Pratt's roles in blockbuster films make him a significant figure in modern film art. Birth of Julio Iglesias. 1943. His romantic ballads have contributed to the art of music and cultural expression globally. Happy birthday, January 21st, babies.
Yes. Shouts out to all the June 21st babies, all my Geminis. About to be Cancer season soon. Shouts out to all y'all. Cancer season on the horizon. Yeah, shouts out to all the men out there, all the fathers. Happy Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get up out of here, as we always do, we're gonna go around and give a word of affirmation and close out. Lady Ava, would you like to go first?
Sure, I have a poem. Can I read it?
Of course you can.
Emotions, the written pictures. Let me say I have poetic artistry. That's what I call it. On the topic of emotions, a God-given trait that can influence your characteristics, your life, our lives, statistics. Our emotions are a permanent human fixture, texturized, that can shape the outcome of the written pictures. Your emotions are yours, that you are responsible for as you walk in a life through many doors. So tread easy in how you skate. Your emotions can lead you into a terrible fate. Emotions can make you hate, debate, or insinuate. From the emotions you can create, bake a crate that's delightful and pretty on its plate, or burn the whole house down to the ground. Creation or destruction, sweetness or smoke. Be careful. The smoke is what makes you choke. Don't provoke. Don't say make me. Because I've seen what happens when emotions run loose with no brakes. When pride becomes gasoline and ego becomes the meme, and a moment becomes a mess you can't take back. When emotions go unchecked, they don't just simmer, they scorch, they stain reputations, they burn bridges, they burn the whole kitchen down to the ground. Yet, from emotions, you can create. You can rid yourself of the stain applied to your life. You can stop the hide, the disguise, the performance, and rise dedicated to the flourishing of your life. Easier said than done. It may feel like and cut like a knife, yet it doesn't harm you. It builds armor. Our emotional landscape dictates the stories we write about our lives, the labels we print on our circumstances, and the records we leave behind. Don't choke. Don't provoke. Don't say make me.
All right, now
All
I hear
right,
you.
all right, all right, all right. Be you, man. What you got for the people before we close up out of here, G?
All right, I got a poem. God damn
Uh-oh. Okay.
it. Hey, roses are red, violets are blue. Hey, I'm a father, and you are too. Hey, happy Father's
Hey.
Day, brother.
Nice,
I
nice, nice, nice,
love it. I
You heard
love
it
it.
here
I love
first.
it.
nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, this has been another episode of Art for Chain Podcast. We appreciate you rocking with us. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend that Art for Chain is in. You never know when we're going live, so you got to hit that bell and subscribe because we may be on a Monday, we may be on a Tuesday, we may be on a Wednesday, Thursday. You never know. Usually we are on at 9 p.m. We try to do at least 3 shows a week. Both of us have been off a few weeks, so we was enjoying some of our downtime. But we are back in full effect, ladies and gentlemen, with more news and breaking entertainment. We're going to highlight some artists coming up. We got a full roster of different poets and musicians that will be coming on to doing interviews in the near future. So sit tight and be ready for all of those goodness. And so my word of the day, or my positive word of the day, is, look, man, if you ain't got nothing good to say, respectfully, don't say nothing. But until next time, if you're going to art, make sure that you arting for change, gang.
That's right.
And we are
Shut up.
out. Peace and love, y'all.